embezzlement,
larceny,
assassination plot,
political intrigue,
and Santa Claus?
in a kid's movie?
Merry Christmas! Mio here!
And Kiddo here to tell you that there's a company called Wow Now that makes what you might call movies, if you stretch the definition a bit.
And one of their specialities is creating films associated with holidays, but most prominently, Christmas.
Which is quite convenient since we need a Christmas video made.
They have quite a few, but we want to take a closer look at one that's a bit different than the one we reviewed on our other channel.
Christmas Under the Sea? No thank you, I don't eat seafood.
Elf Day? No, sounds too generic.
Santa Goes West? Well, that sounds like a video idea that could be evergreen content.
Let's dive in! Woo!
Alright, that intro's pretty slick. Decent quality, actually. Maybe this film won't be so bad.
That doddering old fool, Judge Riker, and the city council are actually moving ahead with another Westopia town lottery.
Oh.
We were outside a second ago in the middle of the day, but now we're inside a building where it's raining outside and night. Sure.
This character is the corrupt mayor of Westopia, the ugly Mr. Bucktooth Tucker, and his crooked compadre, Jeb Easton, the town lawyer, or attorney general, or something.
Both of these character models are hideous beyond comprehension, and Jeb perpetually looks angry and bewildered at everything.
The two talk about the previous exploits of embezzling money from the townspeople and moving it to their offshore accounts, which is a bit complex for the 2 to 4 year olds that are probably the target audience for this film.
Apparently, the town is running a lottery using city funds, which Tucker considers his rightful money. So, the two goobers decide to fix the lottery so they'll surely win.
This involves the animators making a new set for the next conversation with a rat who they convince/threaten to help them. I guess he's able to fill the boxes with fake tickets somehow, and no one will check for some reason.
By the way, all of this conversation is held in the middle of town with people all around who should be able to hear. Hey, what's that he said? Forgery?
They actually think they might win $1 million today.
Even if they could, they'd only get half after taxes.
I've devised a foolproof plan to exempt you from paying any taxes on your winnings today.
Ah yes, a topic all kids will enjoy hearing about. Taxes.
The mayor wins, and nobody is happy. Except for this creepy-looking shark and this T-Rex? Holy...
These two are now his enforcers to make sure the mayor is never questioned.
We are now introduced to Sheriff Kid with 2 Ds, who apparently has appeared in his own Wow Now film in the past. Will we watch it? Not likely.
He checks out what everyone is so upset about and learns about the lottery debacle in another conversation scene.
Something's not right about this.
In case you can't tell, these movies are just dialogue with visuals that aren't even lip-synced.
There's never been a millionaire donkey mayor before. I think it's time to start thinking of an official monument.
Are donkeys minorities?
The two crooks spend a long scene talking about how to spend the money. It's very long.
But when they arrive to collect the check, it turns out the sheriff and the city council have smelled the rat and decided to switch the prize from $1 million to 100,000 acres of land outside the city. That is a ton of land. What are they cooking? What are they doing?
Tucker and Jeb check out the land and it's all dusty, but they get the idea to have a gold rush, which I didn't know you could just plan, to sell parts of the land and charge people fees. Pretty sneaky, especially since there's no gold!
Later, despite a bunch of booing, boo, boo! Actually, I must break in to point out that whenever anyone who isn't an established character says something, they keep cutting to the dinosaur for some reason of the scene.
I want to make you all an offer you can't refuse.
It sounds like the mafia.
That makes us so unique.
Don't forget our crooked mayor's office.
It's very confusing, and I don't like it.
Tucker tells the townspeople that there's a ton of gold and they all get excited for the gold rush.
Randomly, a monkey and cricket are introduced.
Exciting as all get out, ain't it? You know who would love to prospect for gold. Who?
Huh? What?
They somehow jump biomes into the Arctic to see Santa Claus. Ah! What are you and what did you do to Santa Claus? That's no jolly Saint Nick, that's a sleep paralysis demon.
Stay the night if you wish. You can leave by the morning light with warm cheeks and full bellies.
Santa, what do you mean?
They invite Santa to the gold rush and he accepts despite knowing that Tucker is a very naughty donkey.
Gold Rush plan and milk it for even more dollars than we buy prospecting licenses in order to participate. They're into the desert and realizes there's no gold whatsoever in those barren hills.
But hark, this ugly bird overheard them. I suppose it was only a matter of time.
This movie actually has a plot. unlike some of the other movies, and despite how convoluted, boring, and repetitive it is, I need to see how this goes.
Santa's on the move, and unfortunately, he has brought his friend, Chili, the penguin. Question, what happened to the monkey and the cricket earlier?
Apparently, they're still warming their cheeks and filling their bellies because they never pop up in the movie again.
Other question, why does this penguin sound like...
It'll be just fine. Me? Bam! I'm catching a sting or a bite.
that?
The walking animation is taking them nowhere fast. The ground is actually moving faster than they are, and the Earth's rotation is literally the only thing propelling them forward.
They meet a bunny and have another useless conversation that I don't care about.
Are you ever a sight for sore eyes?
And feet.
Excuse us, miss.
I don't know why, but the voice actress for this bunny seems very unsure about her role.
Always very careful, Penguin. After all, I grew up in these parts.
Right afterwards, they have another useless conversation with a monkey. A conversation that gets so far off track to fill the runtime that the monkey has to steer the conversation back to the gold rush again.
Pretty well for us thus far. Yes, tobacco. Teach us some this move. I'm sure you could, Chili. I'm sure.
No, and if you guys are in town for the big gold rush...
Wait a second, is this town called Skyturn or Westopia? I'm so confused.
Why is there a quadrupedal horse with reins when there was a bipedal horse with no reins earlier? What is this world? Santa goes to pay for the prospecting fee and questions Tucker a bit. Also, apparently, Tucker has never been on the nice list, not once. Not a big surprise there, though. Anyways, Santa finds this all rather suspicious.
I'm not exactly sure what they're planning, but I don't trust. I'm telling you, Chili, something wasn't right in there.
Meanwhile, the sheriff and deputy verify that there's no gold that they can find on the land. How do they check so fast? 100,000 acres would take weeks at least.
The evil lawyer threatens the rat who rigged the voting earlier, and, what is he looking at? He threatens the rat and orders him to make sure that Santa and Chili end up in the worst part of the desert on the hottest day of the year.
So that they'll die of heat exhaustion. Pretty intense.
By taking the revelation of Tucker's misdeeds directly to the citizens. His public forum in the town square.
This is way too deep for a kid's movie.
Santa and the sheriff meet off screen, and Santa decides to have a meeting with the townspeople. This goes pretty poorly.
Would you look at that?
Says is
Last $50 to sign
Hold
up.
on, what? Stay
where
calm.
Sheriff Kid himself. Yes, young mouse.
He's a rat.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You are racist.
Spit it out.
I found gold in the hills.
Aha! See?
You did?
Santa plans on heading out to that area of the desert where that rat found that gold, supposedly. However, it is a trap.
Howdy, kid. What brings you to the wagon station this fine afternoon?
What is that accent?
The bird is facing the wrong direction.
The sheriff requires one of the airships to do something. However, it seems Tucker has bought every airship in the town. Perhaps he's trying to hide something.
Mr. Tucker and T-Rex track down the quote-unquote stolen airship and threaten legal action. I think the sheriff actually does have the authority to acquire personally owned vehicles in emergencies, but I don't know the law around these parts.
During the argument, Sheriff Kid makes the bizarre decision to take Tucker up on a challenge. A race! If Kid loses, they hand in his and his deputy's badges. If Tucker loses, then...
And Kid loses and hands over the badges. Off screen even.
Santa and Chili wander around the desert, and Chili, being a penguin, starts to suffer from heat exposure. Santa doesn't seem nearly as concerned as one might expect, though.
By some miracle, they end up near the bunny again, and she gives them a drink and calls an automated airship for them, because she's got connections.
Despite this under-the-table deal, Tucker still gets word from the bird that an airship is missing and goes after whoever is flying without his permission.
I guess this is a good time as any to mention my fear of heights.
Fear of heights? But you're a bird.
I'm a penguin. We don't fly.
Really? I didn't know that.
Are you serious right now?
Tucker and Jeb catch up with Santa and Chili, and Tucker orders Jeb to take them out permanently.
They race through the skies in an epic scene. Epic, I say. And Santa jukes them into crashing.
Well, afterward, Santa gives a speech. He says that how a leader responds to a challenge is a testament to their character and legacy, and that Tucker, while evil and despicable, ain't all that bad since he's done a lot of good for Westopia. So, despite Tucker previously trying to end Santa, Santa asks the people give the mayor another chance.
This gets through to Tucker, who agrees to give back all the swindled money, and that he's a changed donkey now. Likely story.
That's the end.
That was quite the animated sequence of events. Honestly, the story, while convoluted and all that, that isn't the worst plot I've ever seen in a movie. Unfortunately, it was fluffed up to be over an hour long.
It is extremely boring and slow moving. We watched it at 1.75 speed and it is still just a slog.
None of this is helped by the below acceptable voice acting, but hey, eventually you just go numb to the pain, so it was manageable.
But hopefully you enjoyed our video more than we enjoyed this movie. And if you did, consider liking and also subscribing.
The channel is in a weird place, and we're trying to push through and create new and different content that appeals to the audience, so hopefully this appealed to you, the audience.
If nothing else, we had fun.
And if you didn't get enough pain from this Wow Now feature film, check out our review of another on our other channel. A bit more Christmassy, so if this didn't get you in the Christmas mood, it didn't for me, check out that one over there.
Or this one over here. Until we see you there, he's Mia.
And he's Keto.
And we hope that you have a blessed day. Bye!
Bye! And Merry Christmas.